up, everyone? We are here in the Jurassic room, and once again, welcome to another episode of Dinosaurs of the Week, where all of you, the fans, pick what is showcased in each week's episode. And as you guys can see, I got some great suggestions like I get every week from all of you awesome people, and I'll be picking 10 of my favorites to showcase in this week's episode. So let's go ahead and check out what dinosaurs made this week's list. Alright, to kick off this week's episode, we have a suggestion from the one and only Bob the Mushroom, and he wants to see my favorite marine reptile. And while I wanted to choose Mosasaurus, I know that's pretty basic, so I chose a little bit more of an off-the-wall species, and we've got the Jurassic World Dino Trackers Danger Pack Dacosaurus. This is such a cool little marine reptile. I love the coloring on this one, and I just love the overall sculpt. I think it has a really nice look to it. When we look at the back of the box, there's not much to see just from advertisements for some of the other Dino Tracker dinos on the back, as you guys can see, but this Dacosaurus looks great. We've got a cool little mouth and neck articulation. We've got, of course, his flippers and tail, but overall, this is just an awesome species, and anytime we get the little marine reptiles from Mattel, it always gets me excited. So I guess for today, the Dacosaurus will be my favorite marine reptile to showcase. So the next suggestion we have right here is from Stavarn, and thankfully he chose from my favorite toy line of all time. This is the Jurassic Park Chaos Effect Raptor Alpha, or Chaos Genus Night Hunter Velociraptor. This one has got the exact same sculpt as the original Kenner Velociraptors, but an absolutely gorgeous and vibrant paint job, which is known for all of the different Chaos Effect dinosaurs, hence the genetically mutated dinos gone bad. We've got some little capture gear with it as well, but I just can't get over this colorway. I love the blue, black, and greenish yellow. It just makes this dinosaur stand out and look so menacing. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get a good look at our Raptor Alpha, and then of course a little bit of a description about it and some advertisements for the rest of the Jurassic Park Chaos Effect toy line. But like I was saying before, guys, Chaos Effect is my favorite toy line of all time, so I'm always super excited to showcase anything from it. So now this suggestion we have right here came from Jacob D for one of the newer toys that has been released. This is the Jurassic World Rebirth Power Devour Tyrannosaurus Rex, and this thing is sweet, as all of you can see. We've got a really nice sculpt here, a pretty cool paint job, and I just love how thick this T-Rex is. It really reminds me of the old JP Rexes. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Power Devour T-Rex and its Chomp and Devour, and how you can control the attack. So why don't we go ahead and check out those sweet features. So first, you can move the head around like this with the tail, but then the real cool features come. You can just gently press the tongue, and you get some cool sound effects, or you can hold the tongue down, get some chomping with lights. This is a sweet T-Rex figure and another amazing addition to the Jurassic World Rebirth toy line. Alright, so now we've got a suggestion here from JC for my favorite flying dinosaur, which he was saying is technically not a dinosaur, but my favorite prehistoric flying reptile, and I had to go vintage back to the Jurassic Park 3 Alpha Pteranodon. This is such a sweet figure. It's one of the bigger scale Pteranodons that we ever got, especially with the older toys, and it just has an amazing sculpt, a great paint job, and some really cool features. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get a good look at our Pteranodon attacking a Spinosaurus, which does look really sweet. But again, this is a very rare vintage figure and one that can fetch a pretty high dollar amount, and it's based off the Alpha Pteranodon from the Jurassic Park 3 arcade game, which is really cool. But normally you would press some buttons right here and get some sounds, and then you can press right here to get the wings flapping with some sounds as well. But since this is almost a 30-year-old toy, it is going to be pretty hard to get any sound effects out of it. But again, this is an awesome figure and one that is very nostalgic to me. So now this suggestion right here is from Shell, and I'm very happy to answer your son's request for the Jurassic World Rebirth Bite and Blast Mosasaurus. This is a great figure and one of the cooler Mosasaurus toys that we've gotten in a while. I love the sculpt on this new Mosasaurus, and I actually like the Bite and Blast feature, which we'll take a look at in just a second here. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Mosasaurus, how it can blast out side-to-side action, and its chomp. So let's go ahead and take a look at how that works. So first you can move the tail to get the Mosasaurus going side to side, which is pretty cool, but the great feature is pressing this button here, and if you see, the mouth opens and it launches out right there. So you could put the mini Dilophosaurus in the Mosasaurus mouth, open it up, and bam, it would shoot the Dilophosaurus out of the mouth, which is a pretty cool feature. And again, this is another awesome toy from the new Rebirth toy line, and one that I'd recommend all of you add to your collection. So now we've got another cool suggestion right here from Simone for the Jurassic World Legacy Collection Reimagined Chopper Chase Pack. And this is honestly a really cool set. We get this really cool little helicopter here, which is very reminiscent of the old Chaos Effect Air Saber, which is really cool. We've got a nice ACU soldier here, which also comes with a little helmet and some different gear, which is cool. And then we've got this awesome red Atrociraptor, or actually red and black. That is a very menacing colorway and looks sweet. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get a better look at our little chopper right here and how it can launch its missile, our ACU pilot, and of course our Atrociraptor, which is looking super cool in the black and red paint job. I really dig it. But again, this is a cool little set and something that's a nice little bang for your buck. I don't think you're really going to find these in stores much anymore. They may be still trickling around some Targets, but it is a set that I would highly recommend for your collection because it has a lot of playability. Now we've got a really awesome request right here from General Burt for one of the rarest Jurassic World toys in existence. This is the Jurassic World Battle Damaged Spinosaurus, and this is a menacing and huge figure, as all of you can see. I absolutely love the sculpt that we got on these Mattel Spinosauruses, and I love this blue color on the Battle Damaged one. Blue is my favorite color, so putting it with one of my favorite dinosaurs is definitely a good combination for me. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Battle Damaged Spinosaurus and how you can activate its double damage. So why don't we go ahead and check that out, guys? So the first thing you can do is you can pull the skin patch down, then you can pull the rib cage down, then you can click this button here to get all the blood swirling, which is pretty sweet, hence the battle damage that this Spinosaurus goes by. But once again, this is an awesome figure and one of the grails of my collection because, like I was saying, it's one of the rarest Jurassic World toys to ever be released. Now we've got another suggestion right here from Poland Bread for the Jurassic World Dino Rivals Attack Pack Draco Rex, and this is a pretty cool little figure. We have gotten this Draco Rex sculpt quite a few times with some different paint jobs, but I think this orange and white paint job actually goes really well with it. It makes it look a hair vibrant, but still a bit realistic, so I can definitely dig that. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get a better look at our Draco Rex and some of the other attack packs that came along in this wave during the Dino Rivals toy line. And something else really cool about this is, of course, its collector card, as all of you can see here, because the entire Dino Rivals toy line does come with a collector card, which I do really love. It gives a little bit of a unique feature to this entire toy line. But again, this Draco Rex is not a shabby little figure, and especially since it's one of the cheaper ones, I think it's definitely high quality for what it is. Now we've got another great suggestion right here from Tokens and more Dino Rivals. This is the Jurassic World Dino Rivals Savage Strike Dilophosaurus. And honestly, guys, I absolutely love this figure. Not only am I a big fan of the Dilophosaurus, but I really like this sculpt on this one. And I love the vibrant paint job. The purple and all the wild colors reminds me so much of the Dilophosauruses from the original Jurassic Park Sega arcade game, which all of you know is in my collection, so it definitely gives this figure a soft spot for me. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get a better look at our Dilophosaurus and how you can squeeze its stomach to fill it with water, and then you can press it again to get it spraying its blast attack, which is really cool. And then of course right here is our collector card, like all of the different Dino Rivals toys come with. But again, this is a great Dilophosaurus figure, one of the better sculpts that we've gotten from Mattel, and the vibrant paint job is just the icing on the cake, and it makes me really love this figure. And now the final suggestion we have for this week's episode comes from Jurassic Abraham for the Jurassic World Rebirth Matchbox Mosasaurus Rescue Action Boat. And this thing is sweet, as you guys can see. We get this awesome huge boat, we get this cool little car with the small boat, and then of course we get a Mosasaurus figure right here, which is really, really cool. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get a better look at our boat, the Mosasaurus, and all of the things you can do with this awesome playset, which is super exciting. But again, this Mosasaurus even has a cool feature right here. You can press to get that mouth going, which is awesome. The only knock I'll give on this set, which is really not a big deal, is the fact that the Mosasaurus is not in scale at all. For you guys that have already seen Jurassic World Rebirth, you know that that Mosasaurus is way bigger than the boat. But again, this is still a really sweet set, so I'm not really complaining about that. I actually love the whole presentation of this thing, and I'm happy to have it in my collection. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Dinosaurs of the Week. Like I always say, if you are not featured in this week's episode and would like a chance to be featured in next week's episode, then make sure you let me know down in the comments below. Want to see more awesome Jurassic content? Then hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss any of my content. Also, check me out on Instagram and join my Discord server for so much more Jurassic fun. The links to everything will be in the description below. Check out more awesome Jurassic videos here.